there everyone, it's Jen, the Board Game Librarian, coming to you with another book review. I'm back on my romance kick, I know. Today we're going to be talking about One Last Stop, the latest book from Casey McQuiston. Yes, so Casey McQuiston is back. If you had read Red, White, and Royal Blue, which was her smash hit from 2019, I think, 2018, where we have two young gentlemen, the son of the American president and the prince of England, who come together and have a romance and love affair and end up, yay, happiness and getting together. I read the book last year. I partially listened to it and read it, and I'll go back to that. So this is McQuiston's latest book, came out, oh goodness, this past spring. And in here we have August. She's a 24-year-old young woman who has come to New York City to finish her degree. She's kind of led a unusual life, and she is coming to New York really to start over. And she uses the Q, the subway train line, a lot to travel back and forth to finish school, and to go to her job, and just to do normal everyday things. She one day ends up on the Q, and she meets this young woman, Jane. And Jane's a very attractive Asian American young woman that's got like this real super punk late 70s vibe. She's got this cool jacket with patches on it. She's listening to a lot of cool music. And August takes a liking to her. She thinks she's kind of cool, and, you know, they make a connection. So every day that Jane is on the train and August sees her, something doesn't seem right. It's bizarre. It's a little weird. She doesn't know what's going on. In the meanwhile, August has moved in with an eclectic group of folks, an artist, a psychic, oh goodness, I forget what else. Upstairs is a drag queen, down the hall is a drag queen, and she's living this life and kind of getting used to people and used to her apartment mates. So August isn't sure, you know, if any of this is going to change her life. You know, these unusual flatmates that she has, you know, finishing school, working at the Pancake House. But she ends up falling for Jane. But Jane is from the 1970s. And she's stuck on the queue. Literally stuck on the queue. So right there, you have to suspend your sense of disbelief and kind of go with this somewhat wild and wacky story of a romance that is going to happen mostly on a subway train. And I liked that part of the book a lot. The romance to me between Jane and August is very real, very authentic. McQuiston does a really great job of doing that, both in Red, White, and Royal Blue, and here in One Last Stop. Jane is very well fleshed out eventually. Jane can't remember part of where she came from or how she gets to be on this subway train for all of these years. She's stuck in time. You know, August comes from a background where her mother works at a library and has been obsessed with finding out what happened to her older brother, who has like disappeared off the face of the earth. It's believable. It's good. It's a good romance. Yeah, I am there with that. But this book is long. This book is so long. And that's my problem that I had with Red, White, and Royal Blue too. Good books, but they overstay their welcome in many ways. There's too much here. This book is 410-ish pages. And it's too much. It's way too much. And it was too much in Red, White, and Royal Blue, too. It got to a point where I was like, okay, like, can this book just end? Even when the book ends and like the denouement happens and there's, it's wonderful, it's great, it keeps going on. Why? I don't know why. For me, that really knocked both of these books down from maybe a 4-star read to a 3-star read. I like her writing style. Again, I like the romances a lot. There's the definite steam factor. So this is an open door romance, just like Red, White, and Royal Blue was as well. So an open door romance, which if you haven't seen one of my romance reviews, is basically when the proverbial door is open when folks are in the bedroom and there's intimate moments happening. I've heard, you can call it a closed door romance too, where you don't see things. So even those open door moments are quite steamy. They're very, very steamy. But the book goes on and on. There's, we're hurtling, train joke. We're hurtling towards a conclusion where Jane needs to be either pushed back to her time in the 1970s. She needs to be pushed permanently into the current time, or Jane is going to die. And they need to figure that out, and they need to save the pancake place as well. So there's a combination of things that go on there. That scene is great. It's tense. But again, it goes on. It goes on. I had started this book back in August, right at most of August. This was my nightstand book. Gave it up when we went away to Disney. Had to give it up for book club books for work, and came back to it within the last week or so to try to finish it. And it's almost a struggle of sorts to try to finish it because I had time elapse in between and I'd forgotten some of the stuff. But again, the length is just so long. I love this cover. I love that it's shades of pink and purple, which are my 2 favorite colors. I think you really get a really cool what the artist rendering of Jane is, and then August, show that a little better. Where August does quite a bit, bring Jane coffee to kind of jog her memory, and then you can kind of see part of Jane's jacket there too. So I like that. I like this cover a lot. This is not a book for young adults. It's definitely a book for adults. And there are pretty complex adult themes in there too. McQuiston talks about in the 1970s and kind of homophobia, and Jane has been very socially active, protesting, and how people who are LGBTQIA are treated even then and then now too. We see a little bit of that here in the book as well. And we end up getting a resolution for August's dead uncle Augie there as well. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it as good as Red, White, and Royal Blue? No. But this is definitely more fantastical, so it may not float your boat to begin with if you can't make that leap of faith with the author for this. So I think I gave it 3 stars. I read it. I didn't listen to it. Again, I love the cover, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be for you, and you can let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. That's all this week, friends. Thanks for watching.